talked about this class divergence, the two-nation. I wonder, in understanding it, how important is it to think about the particular role of men, the special issues facing men? It seems to me that there is a generalized failure of large numbers of men in our society to succeed, to do well in terms of education, everything, just everything, participation in institutions, and so on. Or even if you want to talk about the African American community, it seems like you have to talk about the issue of mass incarceration as just a huge fact that has to be a part of. So to what degree is the problem that we're looking at connected to a larger failure of men's confidence in the male project in our nation today?
I think there's just a massive crisis level failure of male socialization going on right now. Once again, if you're sort of at the top of the heap, you don't see it as much because that's the sector that's been the least affected by it.
Well, you don't see it at all because they're doing great.
They're doing great. And you can just see it in college admissions. I mean, the Harvard and Yale are not having any trouble getting
super moms, super dads,
male students, but once you get down from the top of the heap, you're seeing the mismatch between women and men going to college becomes much more pronounced. We could talk all day about why that's happening. I think part of it is that there is once again a kind of feminist ideology that says that men are either the oppressors or we don't need them, or the traditional male roles are sort of all yesterday. I mean, there's just a lot of rhetoric surrounding what it means to be a man in our society that is terribly destructive.
It would seem to me to be awfully odd if that rhetoric that the New York Times or whoever is using was sinking in at the bottom but not the top.
Times.
So instinctively, I want to look at other explanations, like it's much more difficult at the bottom of the spectrum to provide for a family, and that's got to be a confidence issue for young men, right? So,
but you see, it's always been difficult, but we can talk about that.
We can talk about that. Yeah, any other thoughts on this?
I mean, I think one obvious place to look to also is to the educational sector. I mean, I think we need to reintroduce at a much larger level single-sex education as a way of cultivating male talents, energies, imaginations, and to encourage guys to engage in their schools and to experience success on their own terms. And then that translates into more success in college, more success in work, and then that also redounds the benefit later on to families, where you've got guys who are going to be better providers and better husbands.
Elizabeth, did you want to add anything?
Just my 2 cents is that I'm at the ripe age of 40. I'm a student of gender roles, and I'm still mystified by the whole thing. I was raised by a feminist single mom. I called myself a feminist from the time I was 6 years old. I'm now the married mom of a boy and a girl. My son is 7, and I call this his boy power summer. He's just come home from camp every day. He's been running with boys all day, and there's something going on, and it's unique and interesting. It's different, and I don't understand it. And all I know is my husband is very helpful in this process. There's something happening there, so I'm just watching and learning.